Hey, BIS 301. Sunday morning here in a gray Tempe sky, gray everything. Gray I'm wearing. Um, let's try not to be depressed. Sunday, it's day off for me, and you're probably watching this during the week. Anyways, welcome to Module 5 preview, Module 4 review. Just a side note, I do have a video posted on my ASU channel that is me dealing out cards for a football pool. Posted on the wrong channel. I'll be taking that down tomorrow. It's not part of the course, obviously. The intellectual autobiography. I scored everyone that was in there, and oh my gosh, you guys did a fabulous job. Overwhelmingly, I really enjoyed them. I hope you got something out of writing it in a way that you could look at your own journey and see where you've been, see where you're going, and help you to organize that part of the journey. Anyways, I don't think I dinged anybody too hard. I went by the rubric. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. We can go over it, etc. Okay. It was an introspective paper again, the last one till module 7, pretty much. So this is work that you're talking about yourself. It's not something that it's a little different challenge, I guess, and I hope you enjoy doing that. But kind of the next few modules, well, you're already in a MAPS 1, so you understand the difference there. MAPS 1, 2, and 3 are going to be a little more on the academic writing, and we'll get into that a little bit here in the video. So let's get the Easter egg 1 out of the way right away. Pretty obvious. We'll get the obvious one done. That's Super Bowl. Okay, Super Bowl Sunday today, so Super Bowl is it. Hope you enjoy that national holiday. All right, so looking at Module 5, all right, we've got no REPCO to read, nothing out of the text, all right. There's a Klein, article about Klein. Remember, REPCO, Newell, and Klein are our three main interdisciplinary studies. They're leaders in the field, I guess. I wouldn't be hesitant to call them that. So there's no REPCO this week. Klein, though, you got about a 15-page attached reading there to get through. It's a conclusion of one of Klein's works. Really well done to get her perspective on that. Then there's Newell. You've got a 22-page reading for Newell, but read the instructions there because you're basically reading page 90 to 102. Actually, that's 12 pages, right? Yeah, so that's only 12 pages. Sorry. You don't have to complete anything, all right? There's a worksheet in there, but you don't have to do it, okay? I just want you to read the instructions, assimilate this important IDS information, okay? You'll see Newell's 7-step model. It's one of our favorites. Each one of these models has kind of a condensed version and a longer version. We're looking at this condensed version. Look at 97, 102 especially. You don't have to do it, but it's good to be prepared in terms of being an interdisciplinarian, that there is a process that goes with this, okay? It's not just, again, it's not just a double major, major minor. It's not just having two things. It's understanding what it means to integrate, okay? So this is an important introduction to that you're seeing. Okay, so you're also, let's see, reading A Theory of Interdisciplinary Studies, article by Newell. And it says you can begin reading from page 14. Why wasn't I ready for that? Oh, maybe because it's 22 pages altogether for Newell. Yeah, okay, that is 22 pages. Fairly easy read, but there's no textbook reading, okay? Also, I linked the menu item from the class with Repco Newell Klein on their processes. It's just a PDF, cannot be opened. Okay, well, I'll double check on that to fix it. And if not, it's on the left side if you want to see how they look at the process of interdisciplinary work, okay? Moving into the discussion board this week. I found that one last year. It's a nice, real good article out of Mother Jones. magazine, talk about it, the Norway experiment. Norway's got some interesting processes in terms of their corrections, their prison system, jail system. It's an interesting read, and it has interdisciplinary aspects to it that um, I'd like you to take a look at. Now, I have in here using steps 1, 2, 3, and 6 of Repko's model. Examine this issue from an interdisciplinary perspective. Okay, so take a look at 1, 2, 3, and 6, and I'm going to pull those up on our site right now. So for Newell, number 1, struck by a confrontation with a complex question, and 2, formulate an interdisciplinary question. Those are kind of the same. I don't want you to sweat each one of them, but I'd like you to address that. Number 3 is gather all relative disciplines. So I want you to consider all the disciplines that are involved here. Remember, disciplines with a capital D. Remember, it's not occupations, right? We're talking about disciplines, all right? And then also from number 6 is evaluate. Well, I mean, we're looking at, give me just a little bit of what you think each discipline contributes to this issue, okay? Again, you can number them, it's fine. Again, don't overthink it or don't get overwhelmed. Like, what does he want? What does he want? I'd like to know that you've addressed these things. I'd like to see them numbered so I know you don't have to dig in there and try to piece out where you addressed one question or another. But this is just like an exercise to see if having you identify the disciplines from an issue, how they came to be integrated. Okay, so that's just what that is in a discussion board format. Okay, so speaking of that, let's do Easter egg number 2. Let's call it just format. Okay, I'd like to talk to you more about format, and we'll get into that with the upcoming MAPS 2. Okay, so for MAPS 2, check out, if you haven't done so or refresh yourself, look at the example I posted. It's in Module 4. All right, the example of MAPS 1, MAPS 2, MAPS 3. Check out MAPS 2, see how that's laid out. I mean, none of these are perfect, because I don't expect perfect, but they're great templates for you to go by in breaking down your disciplines. All right. I want to talk about formatting, okay, because this is now, well, it always has been, but it's real academic writing, okay? And when you do academic writing, it's a little different than a narrative essay, fiction, different genre. It's academic writing. So one of the first things I want to challenge you with, and I know I should have brought this up for MAPS 1, but hopefully I'll see some of this, is I want you to keep yourself out of it, okay? So in effect, try to avoid I, me, my, we, us, all right? See, that's a challenge to write in third person, but that's academic writing. When you see a textbook, let's say history book in high school or something, you're reading it, you don't all of a sudden see the author says, well, I'm writing about the Civil War because I really want to be a Civil War expert and I collect Civil War stuff and this and that. So they keep themselves out of it. So use that as an idea to challenge yourself to writing in an academic style, okay? Not going to ding you too harshly, but I'm going to ask you why you put yourself into it, because these papers are, remember, they're about you going out and getting the information from your disciplines, your concentrations, what the experts in the field say in your area. I want you to start getting some foundational structure to your disciplines. You can't integrate without knowing as much as you can about them, right? Remember, one of the critiques about interdisciplinary studies was we don't know enough about either discipline to be able to integrate. Well, that's a sliding scale, okay? I'm not going to sit here and integrate biochemistry and neurology because I can't, okay? But if you give me some of the fields that I'm more adverse in and proficient in, I'm better set to integrate, okay? So look at your MAPS 2 then. The topics on this are going to be key concepts and current theories. There's only 2. Think about these things. Give me what you can. You don't have to exhaust your concentration, but it should be more than 1 or 2 key concepts in your fields. The current theories, places to find these things. include, academic journals, peer-reviewed journals, all right? Um, again, with the primary sources, that's what backs you up, okay? Primary sources, again, reminder, it's not Forbes.com. That's the one I was thinking about last week. I get a lot of business concentration people like to use Forbes. Forbes is a magazine, basically. It's a revenue producing site. It has its biases. It's not peer reviewed. It might be editorial reviewed, which is not the same thing. So keep that in mind when you're looking for primary sources. Typically, that's journals in your field. Okay, I always recommend going through the ASU library, of course. You don't run into the paywalls and things, and you can find texts completely online to back up your work. Okay, um, I would say that let's see. I have hint. Be sure you understand what concepts and theories are. Choose concept theories discuss you believe are representative of your disciplines. Okay, all this is true. Let's see. Okay, so format again. To harp on it, because I like you to be proud that you've written an academic paper and it looks like an academic paper. Okay, format's important. I use the analogy of or metaphor of going out trying to buy a house, or buying a car. Let's say you go drive up to this car that's for sale, and it's a rust bucket, and you know, back door doesn't open, whatever, windows are taped, but it's got the greatest engine that you can imagine. Chances are you ain't gonna buy it because it's not a complete work that you're looking for. Okay, so curb appeal, that's something to say if you want to think about your formatting as curb appeal. You look at the journals, you look at articles and dissertations and theses and things like that, analyses, and you're going to see that they're formatted appropriately. Okay, so remember to break up your work in paragraphs. Indent your paragraphs consistently. Okay, just hit the tab and it should all be consistent, right? Okay, remember Times New Roman, 12-point font. Okay, a couple of people still turned in their papers in Calibri and that, and think about that, okay? Times New Roman, 12-point font. Paragraph breaks, okay? Your in-text citations need to be done correctly per APA. If you do MLA or something, you need to let me know. Um, again, make sure you know how to do that. Go to the Purdue OWL site, just look and see how to do a citation. Okay, I self-taught. Most everybody is self-taught on those. Okay, there's not many formatting classes, so you just learn how to do it. You get good at it, right? If you're citing something in text, it needs to be in a reference list. Okay, if it's in the reference list, it needs to be in text. I'll match those up. All right. So when it comes to your reference list, know how to format that, where it goes. Okay, how a hanging paragraph works. Right? You can do that in Word. You right-click your thing. You go into it, you hit paragraph, you go to hanging, boom. Hanging paragraph means the top line sticks out and the other lines are tucked in, okay? So that's what that is. Other than that, like I said, don't need a cover sheet, don't need a title page, don't need an abstract, don't need color, don't need gaps between paragraphs, okay? Some people write and they don't indent their paragraphs, they leave a two-line gap between them. No, we're not going to do that, okay? You can gap a section a little bit, and bold the title if you want, but that's it. It's really actually more simple. I'm trying to make it more simple for you, okay? Stretching it out with gaps, like I said, just doesn't do it, all right? So I think this should do it. I'm looking forward to see your maps one. I know I extended the deadline to Tuesday on that, so hope that helps you out. If you need the extension, then you're just going to pay me 10%, right? Okay, so any questions on this? Let me know. Enjoy the Super Bowl, or in case that was yesterday or last Sunday, then hope you enjoyed it. And I think that's it. I always remember something after I'm done, though, right? So let's go with Easter egg 3. We're going to call it third person, because the third person is how you should be writing this. And if you have any issues, again, let me know, okay? I've talked to a few students already, and I'm sure they came out of the conversation more comfortable with the work and the parameters of it and such. So if you're struggling with any of that, just let me know, all right? I have a good week in terms open. I have classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, but I have time to set up where you can call me. Okay. All right. So that should do it. I don't know why I'm missing something, but I'll put it in the email. Okay. You guys have a great weekend week. Forks up, and see ya.